Hey guys, hope you're having a great summer. This is Mr. Stalter. I hope you're getting your summer reading done and that everything is going along smoothly. I did notice that I've had a few questions about annotation, so I just want to go through a quick tutorial of how to annotate. Basically, annotation, if you read through the article that I put in your packet by Mortimer Adler called How to Mark a Book. The long and short of it is you just need to jot stuff down as you read through your summer reading books, okay? Let me give you some ideas for what you can do as far as annotation goes. You don't exactly have to follow these steps, but these are just some ideas that you can use as you're annotating your book, okay? First of all, um, this is a selection. I just picked a random story that I happen to have on my computer. So let's go through some things that we can look at, okay? The first thing that we can look at are things called reading strategies, okay? Now, what are reading strategies? Reading strategies, quite simply, are just strategies to help you stay focused as you read. So, reading strategies. Now, what are these strategies? And you'll get to know these as you take my class this year, okay? We have predict, connect, visualize, evaluate, question, and finally, clarify. Now, these are things that you can just go through and label as you do reading journals for me this year. You will be using these, but you don't have to do this for your annotations. But if you want to get in the mindset, this will get you used to it, okay? Now, let me go through how to use each one of these. First of all, we'll talk about prediction. Now, I'm going to go ahead and change here to red so you can see it a little better. So, I look at the first line. In the living room, the voice clock sang. Well, I can just say voice clock here, and then I would predict this story is in the future, because obviously voice clocks are announcing stuff, okay? Next, connect. Connect means you make a connection between what's going on in the story and your life. If you're making a high-level connection, you're actually connecting to movies you've seen, other works of fiction you've read, and these sorts of things. It's a very high-level thinking skill if you do it correctly, all right? For example, you might say, the morning house lay empty, the clock ticked on, repeating and repeating its sound into the emptiness, all right? And you might say, I'm connecting this. I always put a CON so you know the difference between connection and clarify, and say, this reminds me of a tunnel that I was in over summer break, and I just heard myself repeating and repeating after I said something, like an echo, okay? So that might be a connection that you might want to write down. Visualize means that you can actually make a picture in your head, okay? So, you could write something like, I can actually see this image in my mind of this breakfast cooking on the stove and hissing, and of course the fact that he uses the word sigh, that would be personification, okay? Because obviously the stove isn't human, so it can't really sigh, obviously, and so that gives you that image. Evaluate, you wait till the very end and evaluate whether you like the story or not. You don't just say this story's stupid. Question, you ask questions as you go through. For example, you might say, morning house lay empty, and then you put question, why is it empty? In other words, why is this house empty, but yet it seems to be cooking breakfast and stuff like that. Clarify just means you stop from time to time to make sure you know what is happening in the story. This happens as we're reading through and we lose concentration and we're like, I don't even remember who this character is or what this is all about. So we can go back and clarify. A lot of times students will look up summaries like on Spark Notes and that sort of thing to make sure that they understand what's happening, especially when you're reading a book like Huckleberry Finn, which is a little more complex and uses dialectical writing. This might be something that you want to use here, okay? So those are reading strategies, all right? Some other things that you might want to do, sometimes people make little legends over here for elements of writing, elements of fiction. Of course, Walden isn't fiction, it's nonfiction, but you get the point. But these still have elements, okay? Things like plot, setting, characterization, theme, and point of view, and all the things that go along with those. And you might say, I'll put a little P for something related to plot, S for setting, characterization, C, theme, TH, and then point of view, etc. And then you go through and you read through and you're like, oh, the living room. Well, that's obviously a setting, so I'll just put my little S there, okay? Or characterization, you could say there's personification used through that, so that would be characterization. Theme, well, maybe you think that this, the anniversary of Toledo's marriage might be related to the theme, okay? So you might put your little theme there, or a T, whatever you're going to use. Or point of view, if you have any changes in points of view, such as when you read To Kill a Mockingbird and it flashed back and it appeared that Jem broke his arm more than once, but actually it was just a flashback. So those are things to keep in mind. Now these are just ideas. You can jot anything you want to down when you're annotating, so this isn't an end-all be-all, but these are just some ideas to get you started on how to annotate. Make sure you do a good job, write down lots of stuff, because this is a major portion of your summer reading grade as you come back to school here in a few weeks. Also, if you have trouble concentrating, I would recommend you get on YouTube or on Google and you type in audiobook for Walden or audiobook for not Old Man and the Sea, because that's copyrighted, but you might be able to find it, or audiobook for The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. As always, please let me know if you have any questions. Just email me through my school email, and I will see you in a couple weeks. Good luck, and I hope this helped out a bit. Thanks.